Hello, Slothrin and adult fans of Lego. It's time for another episode of Sloth City. And right now, I'm standing here with my friends, Brett's Builds and Butt Chop. And we're planning to go to the amusement park to do some target shooting. But before we do that, I am going to show you the first two buildings in my residential housing district. And they are here, as I think I showed you in the last episode, in front of the airport. So the location is a little bit loud, but this is where we have our affordable housing. There is no way that a person would be purchasing a lot downtown to put in a residential home. Rents are much too high. So come over here, and we're going to have Sloth Acres in this section. That's what I've decided to call the housing edition. So the first house, which you caught a glance of in the last episode, but I didn't show you in detail, has some architectural detail here and some bump outs for the door and a front bay window. And we have architectural detail in the roof. It's a story and a half. Well, again, I'm exaggerating just a little bit. It's more like one floor plus a loft. But whether you call it a loft or you call it a story, of its own, it really doesn't matter. You can call it what you want. It has more than one floor. How about that? But if we go inside, first I'll take this off. And by the way, attached to the bottom of this, they do have an overhead lamp that fits in there like that. So they have some lights for their home. And if we look inside, here are this happy couple. I'm just going to keep scooting them until I get enough light here for you to see them. Let's look in there. Okay, so here is one half of our happy couple. He's sitting on the sofa. And over here is the other half of our happy couple. And in here we have the kitchenette, and that is a stove with little burners, where they can cook. And we have a chair and a sofa, because this is a rather small home. But that notwithstanding, they have gotten a couple of pets. They have gone over to our animal rescue center, and they adopted a kitten, and they have adopted one of the German Shepherds, because of course we have that huge mass influx of German Shepherds from the animal hoarder that we got a while ago. So they have one of those dogs and a cat, and they have this nice yard for their home. They've planted some flowers. They have a back door. All right. So that's the first floor, and if you look inside the second floor, you can perhaps, if I get the right angle, let me see. If you look in there, you can just see there is a double bed with a nice green bedspread. It's got pillows. Originally, it had been a single bed. That was before they became a couple, and it was just one fellow living there. We put in the double bed, and that didn't really leave room for a whole lot else. But when you have love, you don't need that much space, right? And it's not like they've adopted babies from the baby store, so it really doesn't matter, that they, don't have a lot of room. But if we take the tiles off, you can see the bedroom very nicely there. And then I will just put the tiles back on. And they go like that. All right. So now you have seen the first house in detail. Now we're going to move on to the second house. This couple is colorblind, so they do not care that I did not have enough of any particular color for this home, and so we have green and red and purple and gray and yellow. It's very, very Lego-y, sort of a Lego house. But this happy couple, they don't mind. As you can see, they also have been to the animal rescue, and they have adopted 2 dogs because they have a bigger home and there's room for it. And theirs is the same sort of style as the previous home, but bigger. So we have the upstairs with the bedroom, and I can show you in there. There is the bed. They have a couple of windows, for ventilation for their bedroom. And it leads out here onto this nice balcony where they can hang out with their dogs or they can have a cookout. It's got a little fence around it so the dogs don't leap off and break their necks. But if we take this off and this off, as you can see, those lift off like that, we can see into the home. And here we have another stove. And that blue thing there underneath the counter is a small refrigerator because they could afford a refrigerator in their home. We have much more space. We have a table with little seats. They have a couple of plants. One of them has even flowered. Lots of windows. A nice red rug to contrast with the green carpet. And yes, a couple of chairs. They don't have very large furniture, but they wanted to have room for their dogs to run around. So, all in all, I think that their home is somewhat sparsely furnished, but they really have everything that they need. So, let's go ahead and put that back together again. Soon they are going to invite their neighbors over for a little meet and greet get-together. And one of these days I will have some base plates, and then they will have a little bit more yard to work with instead of just a black table. But there we have the first 2 homes at Sloth Acres Housing Edition. And thank you for coming to see it. We are going to go now over to the park, and we are going to have fun at the theme park. So I am just going to hop on here on the back of the bike with Butt Chop, and we are going to go on our way, and you have a good day.